Good afternoon, folks. Welcome to another episode of the Career Talks podcast. I'm your host, as always, Orlando Haynes, and we are on episode 37, I think. I forget. We're moving, but we're moving along. So, again, I say the same thing because I want to stay consistent with the podcast and intros and things like that. Help me if you have an idea for me to try. I'm willing to try it. But each and every week, we have phenomenal guests that are experts in a field. Getting results from their coaching, whether it be resume writing, increase in income, which we're going to talk about tonight with the amazing Rhona Pierce. So I'm looking forward to that. But before we get started, I definitely wanted to thank our episode sponsor, Agape Career Counseling Group, and Benny Perfume, which is owned and operated by Deborah Russell. Agape Career Counseling Group focuses on HR and small business consulting as well. So you definitely want to check her out. You'll see the link in the show notes, as well as her perfume that she launched for Benny, which is called Benny. So you'll definitely like that, ladies. Apparently it has, which it does, I would say multiple levels of smells in it. But it's something pretty cool from someone who I've been a close friend with for a number of years and always had my back, and I had her. So super excited to support her in that. And again, thank you, Agape Career Counseling Group, for supporting the episode. So this young lady, I've seen her on LinkedIn, as I always see a lot of my guests, and just their content, as well as, her meteoric recognition that she's getting from LinkedIn as being voted a top voice. I believe it's a top voice, a top job search voice, but top voice in 2021. She's doing amazing things. I'm seeing her on all kinds of podcasts, and she's just incredible. Owns her own company, full-time entrepreneur, originally from Panama. She is ready to blow your mind with this content here. So let me bring on, I can see her smiling in the background, Miss Rhona Pierce. How are you?
Hi, I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. I appreciate you joining me. I do admit I specifically target those um, who just add tremendous value. And another thing, I want to also highlight people of color in this, in this career space, which I'm advocating for. I'll interview anyone, but I definitely have an affinity for our people who are really doing good. And may not have the largest name, I don't, right? So, but they're really having large impact on people's career, and that's why I wanted to make sure I get a bunch of you on here and just showcase your skills and talents. Plus, I can learn from you. So, without further ado, share with folks who Rhona is and everything about your organization.
So I went to school for being a software engineer. I worked in the software industry for many years. I started as an engineer, went on to be a project manager, and really then pivoted in 2017 to talent acquisition and just focusing on talent operations. I've always coached on the side. Personal branding is something that has helped me specifically in my career and in everything that I've done, everyone that I've coached. It's the secret sauce. It's what has helped us. So it's a passion of mine. And now, since 2020, I officially launched How to Level Up, which really focuses on personal branding for the job search. There's a lot out there about personal branding. It's mostly geared towards people who want to start their own business.
Hmm.
And everyone doesn't want to do that. But leveraging what businesses use and how they market themselves for your job search is so powerful. That's what we focus on, How to Level Up. And I love video. And I know we'll talk about this.
Hmm.
And I've learned a lot about video. So I'm also a video strategist. So personal branding, video strategy for the job search is what we do.
So let's talk about your background a little bit in when you made the transition to go full time, but in this space to help folks basically level up. So
Sure.
share with your background, your career background.
So, like I said, I started out as a software engineer,
Hmm.
went into just in the tech industry have helped so many people and have as part of my job just getting jobs, interviewing, hiring, and all of that. And just strategies that I've always used to help. I worked for a lot of talent marketplaces
Got it.
where people sign up for the company that help to help them get jobs. And a lot of what I did in my talent operations work was work directly with job seekers that were part of these marketplaces to elevate their brand and help them get noticed. I work with overlooked professionals.
Mm,
And it's way more than a tagline for me. It's something personal. And just seeing the need out there and how many talented, extremely talented people are just simply overlooked because they're not marketing themselves or they don't get the chance. So those are the people that I work with, and it just naturally evolved into what I'm doing now.
love it, love it, and that's why these folks need strategies, right? So let's dive into that. So let me ask this, and you kind of talked about it just now. Define the overlooked professional. Is there more to it? Is it that they're not putting themselves out there, being visible, or what is your secret? Or say, how do you define a little bit more deeper the overlooked professional?
An overlooked professional isn't necessarily someone who isn't putting themselves out there, because some of the people that I work with have tried many things to put themselves out there. But especially in the tech industry and there's a lot of male dominated industries and white male dominated industries where it doesn't matter how hard you work. Sometimes it's just the system is just built to overlook certain people. Those are the people that I work with.
Hmm.
A lot of women, especially women of color, Black women like me. I really love working with Black women. Um, that's an overlooked professional. An overlooked professional is not only someone who's job searching, it can be someone who has a job and is trying within their organization that they maybe love the company. They're trying to get a promotion, trying to get noticed, and everything that they're doing is still not getting them what they want. That's an overlooked professional. A high
Got
performing person for whatever reason is not getting the recognition, the appreciation, and the success that it's their hard work is not turning into the success that they want.
Got it. That's good. That's good. That's true. So when it comes to your strategies and how you develop them, talk about that. Like, what was that aha moment? Like you said, you're transitioning through software, working with those types of companies that always place folks, but you saw a gap, right, and said, I'm going to take this bull by the horns and run with it. So, from a personal standpoint, first of all, what was that transition where you thought, you know what, or that aha moment where you were like, if I were to package these different skill sets that I've learned, this should result a certain level of success that I'm looking for. What was that like?
So I have to go back a little with my personal story before my aha moment as far as business. Like I said, I'm from Panama. My husband is from Tulsa, Oklahoma. I love Tulsa, Oklahoma, but it's not the most immigrant friendly place. And when I first moved here 12 years ago, so I came from a very successful career in Panama. I was a regional operations manager for a software company, everything. And because I fell in love, I moved here to the United States. I thought, okay, yeah, I'm applying for jobs. Literally nothing. I was getting like automatic rejection. I was like, man, it was fast. Can you at least wait a few minutes before rejecting my resume? And I had already worked in the career space and I had already hired a lot of people. I thought my resume was great. Resume isn't everything. So I was trying everything, just looking online, just trying to network. Now, I don't know anyone, and my husband isn't in this industry. So it was hard to network and as a new person. And just after a lot of frustration, it was like a day where I was like, you know what? I'm either going to get a job in the next 3 months or I'm not working in the software industry ever again. And I love the software industry. And my husband, he owns his own business. He's always used video for marketing purposes and for everything. He's done short movie, films, and everything. So he's
Cool.
a video person. And he told me, like, why don't you create a video? Or I had read something online about using a video and I was talking to him about it. And he's like, yeah, we're making a video. Go write your script. Because he doesn't know like how to help me with that. He knew how to help me with the filming and the editing. So
Got it.
I was like, well, I guess I'm creating a video. And that's what I did. And it was like magic. Some of the jobs that had rejected me, when I started reaching out with a video and applying, I was like applying with a video, I was getting callbacks because people now, whatever they had in their head from reading my resume, whether oh, she's from a Spanish speaking country, probably doesn't speak English, or whatever ideas they were creating in their head about me from that paper resume, I was able to come alive and show them who I was,
Mm,
get interviews.
mm.
So that's after that, I mean, there's no way. I've never applied to another job in my life without a video. I've created many versions of my video, cover letter, and have used video since then to level up my own career. And as I was saying, when I was working in these marketplaces with people, I was giving them all the strategies that I had used through the years, tweaking my script and just my messaging. And that's what I noticed in 2020 during the pandemic. I was working for an awesome marketplace. I got laid off like many other people, so I had time. Um,
Hmm.
and I used that time to really find in the career coaching and in the personal branding coaching space what was missing. And really, it was messaging and like creative messaging using what I love and truly believing video. And that's how I started.
Okay, awesome. Love that. Love that. Love that. Yeah, and there are a lot of folks. Well, I won't make it a blanket statement, but there are obviously a good number of folks that are somewhat fearful of putting themselves out there, especially on this large platform, LinkedIn, with this this global reach. So, share with us a few of your strategies that you know that's helped you increase your earning potential. What would you say the first thing is for that overlooked professional?
Definitely your personal brand. So I read this many years ago and I firmly believe it. No one is going to pay you what you're worth. Absolutely no one is. They're going to pay you what they think you're worth. And you have a say in what they think. That's called your personal brand. Your personal brand is how they perceive you, how a potential employer perceives you. And if you think you don't have a personal brand, because I speak with a lot of people who think they don't, I'm like,
Oh yeah.
yes, you do. Open up, pull up Google, type in your name. What comes up? Do you want whatever websites or whatever is crawling the internet to control what shows up, or do you want to have control over the narrative of who you are? um, that's the main thing for your earning potential. That's what makes people think who you are, have evidence of what you bring to the table, what you've done before. It's your personal brand. That's how you make more money.
So, and you said something key there, controlling basically the narrative. Um, if we were to unpack that just a little bit more, what are some strategies to begin to start to control the narrative of your personal brand out there?
Get really clear on who or what your ideal company and your ideal job is, who
Hmm.
you're talking to. Because at the end of the day, your brand isn't going to be for everyone. Don't
Mm.
focus on the people that you're not worried about. Your brand is it has to have a purpose, has to have a goal. You have to direct it to the people, to the potential companies that you want to work at. So having a goal and knowing who you're talking to, I think is the first strategy. So that comes with a lot of mindset work and really looking into what you have enjoyed doing at work, what types of companies you've enjoyed working for, what type of boss, that's very important,
Mm,
you've
yeah.
enjoyed working for. And every single thing that you do, every piece of content, your resume, everything on LinkedIn, your portfolio website, everything, talk to that person.
And when does video? Because I like what you, well, that was a key point right there. You said the boss because that's huge. When does, and maybe if I'm asking this too early, let me know, when does video start to come into play? Because I know you're a master of the video content.
Video for me comes to play since the beginning. So when you're trying to get hired and when you're your personal brand, ultimately you want people to get to know, like, and trust you. And I think, and I firmly believe, and there's proof of this out there, that video is the easiest way to get someone to know, like, and trust you. So I like to break it down with the people that I work with in three types of videos. So the first type of video is the type of video where people get to know you. That's your intro video, your video cover letter. LinkedIn, I'm so excited, now has the profile video. They used to call it cover story. That's where you start. That's the absolute first part. So after you know who you're talking to, create a video, create an intro video for people to get to know you. That's the first type of video. So video comes in since the beginning of your strategy.
And number two, what's the
Number
second
two
type?
is, sorry?
The second type of video. You said three.
Second type of video is a video for employers or potential employers to get to like you. So that's where you show a little of your personality. And that's where, after you've zeroed in on what type of company culture you like, you gear everything that you do and every type of video that you do towards that. The like videos are the short form videos like Reels, TikToks, YouTube Shorts, and even LinkedIn short videos. And I'm talking about 30 seconds or less videos. I like 15-second videos where you're sharing a quick behind the scenes, a quick tip, something that really shows your personality. Those day in the life type videos are really good to get people to like you.
Got it.
And then the third type of video, the money videos, are the videos, the longer form videos where you're getting people to trust you. That's where you're doing how to's, tutorials, interviewing. Like if your job is a job that really relies on working with other people, interviewing people you've worked with on the past, doing live streams like this one, live Q&As, learning in public, and just
Mm,
sharing your live streaming. I don't know, if you're a designer, live streaming like, here I'm designing this thing, that type of thing. Those are the money videos. So, the no video, someone came in, looked at your LinkedIn profile, saw your cover story, your profile video. Huh, this is interesting. I want to get to know more. They keep scrolling, looking through your content. Then there's a like video. Oh, look at their personality here. Here's a day in the life. Here's a quick tip of them. Then they keep scrolling it, or you send them to, with your content, obviously their strategies,
mhm.
to your longer form video. By the way, most of the time before they get to your long form video, you're already on the short list for an interview. Now, the longer form video is what they're watching right before interviewing you, to learn more and to get questions. It is so powerful. When I get interviewed, people are asking me things from my videos. It's like, it's like, at first it's like a weird sensation because people feel that they already know you, they already trust you. Hey, I saw this thing that you did. Can you tell me more about that? how how powerful is it to jump into an interview where they're asking you about something that you already created, you already know?
That's phenomenal. So let's talk about an example because you get three phenomenal points, right, in terms of video content and how to do that. For folks that are thinking, okay, great, Rona, how do I get started? What is my first? What do I say? Like, what's the first thing I say, even in my my cover story video? Like, do I talk about it? Do I present a tip, or do I just talk about me? What would you share with folks to say this is how roughly you should present your first video, and then we'll break each one down again.
Great question. So, in your first video, even though it's about you, it's not really about you. So, you start it with the main problem that you solve. Talk to people. So, there are many strategies. You can use the word you. If you use the word you in the first few seconds of a video, that really engages the person watching. You can ask a thought-provoking question. If you're really bold, you can make like a claim, something that's really controversial in your industry, and just start out with that. So, how to start your video? Main thing is, do not, please, do not say, "Hi, I'm Rhona Pierce." Like, no. Say the main thing that you solve. Say, I think my current one says, finding great employees isn't always easy, and keeping them around can be even harder.
Mm.
Okay, so someone who's looking for a talent acquisition operations, it's like, okay, yeah, I can relate to that. And then I go on to finding the right or wrong employee can directly affect your business, or directly affects your business, and at the end of the day, your life. After I've got them hooked in, because that's what in the video world is called a hook, I go into, "Hi, I'm Rhona Pierce." Then
Right.
I talk about what I do. So first, hook them in, make it about them. That's how you start your video. You make it about them and their pain points, what they're really looking to be solved. Then you mention your name. Then you talk about how you solve that problem that you spoke about when in your opener and your hook, and you weave in your calls to action throughout, because there's nothing worse, and I've seen it many times, where someone has a video that doesn't tell you what to do next.
Mm.
You just become the cool video people talk about, like, "Hey, look, I saw this cool video." Next person. Always have a call to action. There has to be a reason why this video exists, and it's not just for people to say how cool it is. It's for people to contact you for an interview and hire you.
It's definitely a marketing strategy applied to your personal. I love that. Give them the wow factor up front, the attention grabbing topic, right? That, and I love that. And then you twist and say, "Hey, here's what I can do," or whatever. How you laid it out. Love that. Love that strategy. That's no. I don't think I've seen that from a job seeker yet, and I have to redo mine. So I'm glad I took mine down so I can do it this way.
Yeah,
always learning. So I love that.
the concepts of marketing and sales that companies are using are, you can really weave them in and apply
Hmm.
them to your personal brand. Because at the end
Correct.
of the day, you're just selling you to a company that wants to hire you.
Yeah, and I think that comes across so powerful because, like you said, it's and here's how you broke it down. There's the know you video, there's the like you video, and there's the trust you video, right? That know you video, they'll just see your personality come across hot. They'll be like, "Oh wow, this person seems like someone I can really talk to or hang out with, maybe." And pretty outgoing, so it could be a cultural ad, not just a cultural fit, but a cultural ad to our organization. So, love that strategy. So, with the like you video, um, where you're how would you present that? How what's their next step in presenting that type of content?
So it really depends on the platform that you're using. And that's something that I work with my clients on choosing based on what your goals are for your job search, what platform is going to be your main platform. But let's say you're using LinkedIn.
Mhm.
You would take what you would put in a reel or in a TikTok, create that short video. Maybe, I don't know, maybe you are a developer advocate. They go to a lot of conferences and they help bridge that gap between external developers and the company, the product company that they're working at. So a like you video could be something like, "Hey, behind the scenes here, I'm prepping my slides for the presentation I'm about to give." or this is me traveling to this conference and look at who I met. I don't know, I met a influencer in your space, that type of thing. And then just showing your personality, um, really showing you in your professional light, because I am not advocating for anyone to be a hot mess online. Just showing who you are,
Hmm.
still in a professional light, behind the scenes, day in the life. I don't know, when we were commuting to work, like the traveling back and forth, or
Hmm.
maybe you met your coworkers. Maybe you work remotely and you just met your coworkers for whatever reason, and that's a short, quick video. Look at what we're doing at this offsite, that type of thing.
Love it. Love it. Now, the trust you video, which is really crucial, right? That, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. Once you get to the trust you video, I think you mentioned even at the like you video, but the trust you video is really when those calls in my head, from a recruiter standpoint, start to come in, unless you just crush it on the know you video, right? And they're like, oh, absolutely, right? So, um, the how
Yeah.
tos, what some how to tips. But go ahead, answer that question.
So calls from recruiters come from know you videos and like you videos. Really, the trust you videos are for the hiring managers.
Mm,
Yes, recruiters. I'm the type of recruiter who looks and who watches those trust you videos. If I know what I'm looking at, like if I understand the industry that I'm hiring for, and I usually do, I would see those. But those are the tutorials. That's what's on your portfolio website. At the recruiter level, they will see and understand, like, oh wow, this person has a lot of proof to show to my hiring manager that they know what they're doing. But those are the ones that are really targeted to your hiring manager. So it's it's more technical, it's more what you're like, in the language that you would speak to someone that is doing the work with you, still at a high level where it still has a factor that people are going to watch. You're not going to get there and be totally 100% like, I don't know, a doctor, like speaking in doctor speak, like I like to call it. But that's where you're doing live streams. Learning in public is such a great way to build trust, because people see that, one, you know what you're talking about, and two, you're not um scared. You're not like scared to be vulnerable and be like, hey, I don't know this, who knows this. That's where you get like help from people in your audience and things like that. So the trust you videos are the ones that you really showcase how, and make them imagine how it would be to work with you.
love that. Love that. Coin knows, like you trust, know you, like you, trust you videos. That's phenomenal. That's a program. You can put that together. So, so now for the folks who are watching, and again, thank you, Gene, for your comment. If you have any questions, go ahead and share the questions or comments for Rona. Um, let's see if we can fill in the gap that they may be thinking. Right? Okay, I'm starting to do this, starting to do that. How do I then leverage that to where I can start looking at negotiating or earning a higher income?
That is the best part of it, because now you've got an interview. Now you're in an interview process. They're talking to you about this evidence that you've shown online. They're talking to you about what you have done. And even if they're not, you're pointing them to that. You're talking to them about that. That's where the questions come. That's where I keep, when I'm interviewing, I take notes during interviews, and I'm not taking the traditional notes that people are taking. I'm taking everything that they're saying, like, oh, I really like your approach to that. I really like how you did that, because I will use those exact words when it comes time to negotiate. Okay, great. Thank you for this offer. Really excited to join the team. Based on the fact that I've done this, 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 and this, in their words, for
Hmm.
your videos, um, I'm more comfortable with this type of range. And I mean, definitely there's scripts and ways to say it, but yeah, you bring it back. I use their language for negotiating. So as you see, that's you controlling 100% controlling the narrative.
Now it's tricky because I have a lot of folks that are hiring managers as well that may be keen to be like, ah.
It's
So
fine.
if I get approached with that, I know where they got it from. They saw Rona, so
It's so
it can
awesome
be.
when I
I know.
myself have been interviewing and people know that. I mean, they see my live streams, they see what I do, and it's
Yeah,
like they always assume like,
it was
are
like
you, I think I can see, and then they've joked, and then after when I've worked, they've said like, "Were you doing that to me? Were you using that strategy?" 100%. I
they're
don't.
like, wow.
I
They
wouldn't
were like
recommend anything that I wouldn't do for myself.
they're like Rona in episode 32. You mentioned using that strategy.
It
and
works.
it's working. So let's love that. That's funny. That's hilarious. Thanks, Stacey, for your comment there. So let me take a step back because there are folks out there who have the talent, have the credentials, but are just absolutely scared and have this cloud of fear over them for putting themselves out there. um, as you're coaching people, how do you get over that part? Like sometimes that's the first roadblock. Like they can write white papers, they can do all this other stuff, but like, okay, well, if you just break that down and put it in 1 minute sound clips and 30-second sound clip videos, it increase your visibility. How do you get them over the fear though to come on camera?
Um, a lot of mindset work and really digging into what is the fair. And when I've worked with the people that I work with, it usually boils down to things like, I don't like my voice. Well, no one likes their voice on video, but your voice sounds great. Like most of the like I haven't encountered anyone whose voice is like and
Right.
and if their voice was that bad, it's like, well, I'll teach you in the editing room how to like mix the audio levels and stuff so that your voice sounds perfect. So that objection is gone. There's a lot of, I don't want my current employer to see what I'm doing. And it's like, well, do you want to get another job? Do you want to level up? It doesn't, the way you, when you're building your personal brand and working on your personal brand, it doesn't always mean that you're looking for another job. I've had people level up within the company that they're in because a hiring manager from a different department saw something on LinkedIn that one of their coworkers liked, you know how LinkedIn works, and then they're like, "Oh, we're opening this internal role," reaches out to the person that's already at the company, type of thing. So having a personal brand, posting online is not necessarily, doesn't necessarily mean that you're looking to leave. And to be honest, if you work at a place that is going to have a problem with you having a personal brand, that's a whole other issue. Um,
Correct.
that's way bigger, and that's how I work with my clients. It's just
Mhm.
getting in the mindset of what is the real thing behind I don't want to be on camera. And also we start with baby steps. Maybe your first videos don't have you on camera, or you use Loom or something where you're like on the, like in a little circle at the bottom of the screen, and the hero of the video, the main character of the video is whatever you're sharing or doing on your screen. So there's so many ways.
Correct. And folks, and just to add this is that you're not saying in your videos, and correct me if I'm wrong, Rhonda, that hey, I'm looking for a job and right. You're not. All you're doing is sharing your value and experience that can yield a better opportunity, like you just said, within your current company or with another company. But it's what we're talking about here. I'm not sure if you've seen the article. Fanny Dunnigan shared it with me. She's another phenomenal content creator, and it was from LinkedIn, one of the editors from LinkedIn. It's called the Creator Employee, where if you come on video or share your video, your personal brand does impact the employer brand, right? It creates
Yes.
higher visibility, but the ultimate shine does fall upon the employee first, but then it can impact the employer brand as well. So that's, I think, the merge of the two, getting over the fear of the video is crucial, which is phenomenal. So um, let's get back to where you're negotiating that, that getting that exposure. What are some additional ways that these folks are, or what can come of it other than just a job opportunity? Because again, I'm sure you've seen different ways where it's benefited you from creating content. You got recognized by LinkedIn. Like, share some of the ways that it can provide additional exposure for you for your personal brand.
Great question. Speaking engagements is a big one. Lots of companies, everyone needs speakers. It's so hard to find them. And when you have the proof of what the person can do and how they're on video, things like that, that's a great, that's like the number one thing I get from my videos. Speaking engagements, recognition, like the LinkedIn thing, things like that, industry recognition, um, confidence.
Mm,
And the way you, I was talking to one of my recent clients, and they had never used video, and when they used it, they got a job within like a week or two of launching their video. And they're an introvert like me, and they, when they went to interviews, they were like, I was just so confident in my messaging, in how I answered interview questions. People already see you as this confident person because you've
mhm.
put yourself out there and on video. And just the way that interviews flow and interactions at work flow is 100% different, because they are perceiving you as this confident person. And when someone treats you and comes to you as if you're already confident, that really boosts your confidence. So to me, that's one of the biggest benefits, because I am the shyest person ever, believe it or not.
It's funny. It's funny. I tell this story ever so often on the podcast. Is that I started this. I was super hesitant to get on, camera and everything. And the whole thing was, I was like, I can't speak for 20 minutes by myself. I'm like, I don't think I can carry the show for 15, 20 minutes, whatever it is. I was like, oh, epiphany. I'm a recruiter. I interview. Let me leverage that 20 years of experience and dive into my network. And it's funny because a previous employer and current employer within my team, they're like, wow, you got a bunch of people and you're connected to a bunch of people. And it's an ongoing joke and it's hilarious. They're like, oh, you're kind of a big deal on LinkedIn. I'm like, no. But it's funny when you put yourself out there, the visibility comes. You don't know who's watching. When you go to local networking events and things like that, people recognize you like, oh wow, if you didn't comment on the show or see a question come up, you're like, I never knew, but people are watching. So it does create a high sense of visibility for you as well. And just wanted to share that real quick. But we have a question for you
Sure.
from Stacy. What are some make or break questions that people should prepare for best?
As far as in interviews,
I would say interviews, and you can just say yes or no on that, Stacey. I would assume you're talking about interviews, but yeah, we can answer from that
I
standpoint.
would
Go
say,
ahead.
from an interview perspective and from just a networking perspective, the tell me about yourself, which I absolutely hate. But the truth is, that's what people are going to ask you. So having your pitch, your signature story, what you're going to share about who you are, that's that's the top one. So knowing who you are, what problem you solve, and why you are the person that they should hire to solve your problem is the main questions that I think you should be ready for. Also, another question that I hate, super annoying, why do you want to work here? The truth is, there are reasons why that question is asked. So knowing the answer to that
Hmm.
basically means at least do some research. For I've interviewed, as a recruiter, I've interviewed people I mean, I've worked at companies that have forced me to ask that question, and I've
Hmm.
asked the question, and people are like, I don't even know what you guys do. And
Hmm.
that's always like a, oh. Like, oh man, how do I make this candidate look good on paper after that question where I have to write what they said? It's like, give me something. So please know who you are, what you bring to the table, why you're the best person for the role, and please know what the company does and why you're interested in working there and helping them solve their problems.
Yep, and I would add to that too, that and that's the key one, Stacy, is finding out what that department head or manager, what's their current problem, so you can close the gap with what you bring to the table. Right? If you can uncover that, and then circle back, well, yeah, based on what we talked about, my skill set, I've done X, Y, and Z, and shown this return. So that's huge. Finding out what that gap is for that department is their immediate pain point for sure. And
Yes,
then
and that's really when the beauty of when people ask you, do you have any questions for me? A lot of people ask things that are related to them. And again,
mhm,
just everything you do in life, especially in business where you're trying to get someone to hire you, think about them. What's That's where you ask, like, hey, what's the main problem that you're trying to solve? What's the main goal for this role? That
mhm,
type of thing. That also helps you at the negotiating table because you're someone that's seen as someone who throughout the process is wanting to give and not just take.
correct. Now, share with the frequency of, because I've talked about this, and you get variance in answer, the frequency of putting out, the like you video and then trust you videos. How often should someone do that to where it doesn't seem like you're just, you know, uh, blowing up their feed and it gets watered down?
It depends on your goals. I that's a hard question to answer without knowing what the goals are. My
Mm,
main thing is focusing on consistency. So if you're going to post once a month, post once a month. If you're going to post once a week, post once a week. If you're going to post 3 times a day, post 3 times a day. It really depends on your goals and what you're trying to do. But I don't approach, me personally, I don't approach content creation as I don't want people to I don't want the people's feeds to be full of me. They can unfollow. They can like block me if they don't want to see me
right.
type of thing. I don't want to work with those people either. They don't like me. It's like I'm creating content to help, to serve. Um, and yes, it's to show what I bring to the table. But the truth is, and behind it, and what you should be doing is who are you helping? Who is this content? Someone else in the industry is seeing this content. And the way algorithms work on social media,
Yeah.
trust me, most people aren't seeing every single piece of content that you post unless they want to.
Correct. Correct. A former chief marketing officer I used to work for, who helped me with the initial launch of my podcast, they they were part of the accelerator program that LinkedIn put out, and
Mhm.
he put out kind of a carousel of information, which made complete sense. With obviously within the first 2 hours, commenting and activity is where you get the most return. But what's interesting is the text was getting the better of the algorithm versus the video. I was like, wow, okay. But again, contrary to that, video does work, right? We're talking about it now. It absolutely works. So don't think, okay, if I just put out a bunch of articles, I'll get. Nah, definitely mix it up.
The thing is, and I always say this to the people that I work with, are you posting for the algorithm or are you posting for the person that is going to hire you? The algorithm might like something, and the algorithm changes what it likes every day because there's someone telling the person coding what to change. Um, the people that are hiring at the end of the day are humans trying to hire humans. That has not changed. That will not change. Um, I don't create content for the algorithm. Create it for the people that you serve.
Love it, love it. And you said it too. If we were to take the mindset of I'm here to serve, I'm creating content to help. The pressure immediately comes off thinking, oh, it has to be at this time, Tuesday at 10 a.m. I have to make sure I get the most likes, and I need to 50 hashtags and, and tag 35 people every two. It's like, no, you don't have to do all that. You don't have to do all that. I love that. I love that. Wow. Time is moving super fast. So, um, what are some more nuggets? What didn't we uncover that you can have these folks kind of run with tomorrow and start like, oh man, Rona dropped a big nugget right there. I'm gonna take and run with.
I think just starting, figuring out your story. Stories connect the most. And people, like I said, hire humans. Humans have stories. Everyone has a story. So figure out your story and start sharing that in pieces. I'm not saying to write this novel right here. And like I said, I'm not advocating for anyone to be a hot mess online. Everyone has things that are good and things that are bad as part of their story. Share it in a way to serve, to inspire, to help. That's where I would start because that is the lowest lift, I would say, as far as content creation. Because, I mean, who knows your story better than yourself? Um, and it's the easiest one and it's the one that connects the most. And remember, just go through the no, remember the no, like, and trust factor. Start with the no. You at the beginning you want people to get to know you, so start with the no type of content.
Yeah, if you haven't already, Rona, put out like a carousel or something on that, absolutely, because I think that will resonate and it makes it so much easier for folks. Of like, oh, okay, okay, the know me, go on this part of the video. Okay, the like me, got it. The breakdown of the how tos. I got 15 years experience in HR, project management, whatever. Great, I can share this in just 30 seconds. Do I have to use my face? I can use a waveform format or whatever. If you haven't, that's I think that'll break a lot of folks out of that fear factor because you broke it down so easily. Like they can take action on it like today.
And I share weekly with my email list tips like that. I'm all about the actionable stuff,
Hmm. Hmm.
and not the salesy stuff. Yeah, I'm running a business. I need to pay bills. So yes, I'm selling stuff. But at the end of the day, I want to help people. So my weekly email, I share tips like this. I break down like what you see on LinkedIn is just like the surface, where the real stuff is happening is in my email list. I'm there sharing, like, this is how you do a no video. This is how you uncover your story. These are the steps. I share that. My weekly email goes out every Wednesday. And to sign up, you can go to connect.howtolevelup.com.
Love it. Great segue. Let's talk about what you have going on in your business, any programs and things like that. Because time it just flew by. Like holy cow.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Time flew by. Yes. I love video. So I have a one on one coaching intensive. It's a VIP day. It's 4 hours where we work together on uncovering your story, laying the foundation for the script for your no video. And I teach you all of my tips and tricks to film and edit. It's really simple. Everyone's always thinking that I need all this equipment and stuff like that. No, you need your phone and a window with light, with sunlight. So I teach all of that in this intensive. That's what I'm really promoting and working on. I have 3 more spots for this month, and then I have spots for upcoming months. That's what I'm working on. You can learn more about that at howtolevelup.com.
Love it, love it, love it. So, I always ask the one or two final questions. One would be obviously they can catch you on LinkedIn and see your content. Are you promoting it also on IG, TikTok as well?
I've been taking a little sabbatical from IG and TikTok. I'll go back to them probably next month.
Hmm.
My main places to connect with me are my email list, LinkedIn, and Twitter. I'm
Yes.
Rhona B at Rhona B, so Rhona B as in boy on Twitter, and on LinkedIn, Rhona Barnett Pierce. I'm there. I right now I don't TikTok and IG aren't part of my active strategy, but when I
Hmm.
feel like releasing a reel or a TikTok, which happens probably once a week, then I'm there too. I'm how the number two level up on TikTok and IG, and then always YouTube is one of my main places as well. Rhona Pierce
I
on
love it.
YouTube.
Awesome. So, final question. What is your personal mantra, if you have, or quote, something that gets you up every day to do what you do?
If you live your life the right way, and this is Randy Posh, he was a professor at Carnegie Mellon. He said this in his last lecture when he was dying of pancreatic cancer. He said, if you live your life the right way, the karma will take care of itself, the dreams will come to you. And that's what
Mm.
really makes me wake up. I live and I my life is it's all about serving and who I'm going to help, and then everything else will fall in place. And I'm a Christian, so I believe just serving, helping others, and anything that I need for my life, any dreams that I might have, will be taken care of.
Well, couldn't close it out any better. Love it. Thank you so much, Rona, for again accepting the call to come on, sharing your expertise. Again, I love the know you, like you, trust you breakdown of the videos. People go to howtolevelup.com, sign up on the email list. I'm going to do it so I can get all the all the juicy nuggets there, and just extract as much as I can from Miss Pierce, and truly just level up this way. Again, we can earn more in our life. So I appreciate you so much again. I look forward to having you back. We can unpack some more stuff in the future.
Yeah, thank you
I
so
can
much
hold you
for
to that.
having me. Yes, yes. It was so fun. Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. Hold on. I'm gonna close this out with a quick video, and we'll talk behind the scenes.
Okay.